Think of parallel realities similar to that of a remote and a television. Now we know I could change the channel to the History Channel. I could change the channel to MTV. I could change the channel to Vikings. I could change the channel to any channel using this remote, and the frequency of that channel already exists. Like, the remote does not have to create the channel. And in the same way, you can think of your remote as how you think, how you feel, and how you act. And how you are thinking, feeling, and acting is the remote control that is perceiving of different channels of reality. There is a version of you that is in the perfect relationship. You can click it. There is a version of you that is doing what you love for a living. You can click it. There is a version of you that has more synchronicities, more opportunities, that is traveling the world. That version of you exists right now. It's simply operating at a different frequency. Now, if you want to shift your reality, this is what quantum physics is showing us, is that everything exists here and now. We experience a reflection of our beliefs and who we are being. And the remote through which you perceive of your world is through the subconscious patterns, the beliefs, the habits, the thinking, the feeling, the acting that is on your remote. And when you begin to tune to a new station, to a new channel, you will begin to perceive of a new reality. Now, back in 2017, that's exactly what I did. I went from thinking, feeling, acting equal to a 9-to-5 job goer who sells women's shoes to deciding I am now a full-time YouTuber. I took on the way of being. I linked up my thinking, my feeling, my actions to that version of me. And very quickly, within a few months, I was growing a YouTube channel, and within 6 months, quit my 9-to-5 job selling women's shoes, put in my 2 weeks, and then have been traveling the world, doing what I love in a completely new way. I literally shifted my reality through changing how I think, how I feel, how I act. Now, in this video, what I want to show you is a simple 5-step process to shifting to your dream reality. I haven't really shared the in-depth process like I am going to in this video. This is the only video you really need to watch on this concept to help you understand that what you want to experience already exists. You simply need to mirror the thoughts, the feelings, the actions of that version of you. Give yourself permission to be it. Now think of it, the subconscious mind is similar to this box, this prison that is around this stick figure. Now, the subconscious blocks and the familiar energy is what we are subconsciously addicted to. It's what we are subconsciously programmed to. And what happens is we may think we want the love, the joy, the abundance, the success, but it may not be a familiar station. It's like you've been watching reruns of certain shows over and over again, and it simply felt comfortable to watch them. And anything new, you're like, I'm not sure if I'm going to like it. That's the unknown. But you know what? You may find a show that is better than anything you could possibly imagine. You can only find that when you start to branch off into the unknown. So what you're going to be shifting from is shifting out of the prison of your beliefs, the prison of the subconscious patterns. You may say, I want love, but love to you may be fearful. Love to you may mean let down, may mean rejection. These are subconscious blocks that keep people staying in familiar energy. This is why some people say, I want to attract a healthy relationship, but they continue to attract toxic partners. Because that toxic partner may be the normalized energy of the past. And the way you break the pattern is by becoming aware of these subconscious blocks, becoming aware of the stories that attract it, and then healing it and letting it go. Now, let's talk a little bit about this. Now, the first thing is SHIFT, These are different acronyms, different words for this type of process. Now, first off, S stands for story. It stands for beliefs. S stands for story, but it's your beliefs create your reality. And back in the day, my prison was I believed that things weren't fair. I believed that women were trying to control me because in childhood, I had a woman that was trying to control me, so I always had to fight against that. I believed that I had to have some power over me for me to feel safe. That was like a subconscious thing, so I always had a 9-to-5 job with a controlling boss. I believed there was something wrong with me. Got told that because I was labeled as having ADHD. What's wrong with you? Why do you have so much energy? So there was this internalized shame. There's something wrong with me. There was a story. I work a 9-to-5 job. This is who I am. This is part of my identity, which we'll talk about in a minute. But nonetheless, when I learned meditation, one of the first things you need to learn to really shift your life more than anything else is how to observe your thoughts. Because you may think thoughts, but you are not your thoughts. When I started meditating back in 2012, I became aware of a lot of these subconscious beliefs that I had. I became aware that I was recreating familiar childhood dynamics over and over again and attracting it. I'm like, man, I left my ex-stepmom who was controlling and manipulative, left my life when I was 17, but I'm in a job now with a manager that is just like my ex-stepmom. And just as much as if we were to say something to someone else about what was happening in the household, we'd get in more trouble. If we went to HR, we'd get in more trouble because she was protected. Things weren't fair. You see, I woke up and realized I'm recreating the same energy over and over again. This is why we also attract people that sometimes reflect back parental dynamics. Because mother, father, child dynamic gets created over and over again until we heal it. So if you're stuck in a reality, it might be stuck in a pattern. So one of the first steps is becoming aware of the subconscious patterns. Becoming aware of the 3 most common limiting beliefs. They have to do with shame, feeling I'm broken, there's something wrong with me, which is worthiness. Abandonment, feeling like people are going to leave, which is also similar to feeling not worthy enough. And then control. These are the 3 different beliefs. Now, by the way, if you're seeing this video right now, then something that is open today is the Shift Academy. This is a step-by-step 6-month coaching program that will show you how to shift into a new you. I will take you deeper into every one of these levels I'm about to share. I'm going to reveal it all in this video regardless, but I'm going to show you how I will help you with another coach of one of my coaches. We will coach you through the process of transformation into you being a new you. This comes with weekly live calls, 2 calls a month with me, hot seat coaching. This is like bringing people up in coaching, and this group will do group meditations as well. But it's a 6-month coaching curriculum that shows you how to do this. Everyone's going through the process together. There's accountability. There's ways of becoming aware of the subconscious patterns. It comes with that some bonuses that are awesome right now. This is only going to be open for 7 days at the cheapest price you will ever see it. It is crazy how I'm doing this right now. But yeah, until Monday, you can join the Shift Academy at the cheapest price it will ever be. And then it is closing down. We're going to be working together for the next 6 months to a year. It comes with a year of coaching, 6 months of curriculum. So if you want to learn how to shift into your dream reality, you want to shift out of the subconscious patterns, heal, and then shift your identity and become a new version of you, this is for you. This is basically, 6 months of coaching with a year of calls. And you can go ahead and check it out by clicking the link below and going to aarondoughty.com/the Shift Academy. Now, the next thing to become aware of is one thing we do in the Shift Academy is we become aware of the 3 limiting beliefs and we look at those. So the abandonment wound, the worthiness wound, the control wound. So sometimes if we had a controlling parent, this is where sometimes people also fall into people-pleasing patterns or they start controlling themselves. It's like we feel familiar. I did this in my own way where I started to become very controlling with my diet. It's like no one was there to control me, so I would limit myself. And there's an energy there. There's a subconscious energy there. So when I started to become aware of all these stories, I realized there's stories. Just like one day, at one point, you believed that you were that the boogeyman may be real. It's going to get you from under your bed. One day you probably realized, hopefully, that the boogeyman's not going to get you. And now you don't walk around your bed like jumping onto it, afraid of the boogeyman. Well, in the same way, you can believe in scarcity. You can believe you're not lovable. And then one day wake up and realize, wait, that's just a belief. It's not actually true. Because you see, reality reflects back what we inner belief about ourselves. Inner belief. The inner beliefs we have. Now, H is heal. Now, healing is about understanding your nervous system. You may be having a nervous system that has normalized and felt familiar to that of toxic energy, to normalized energy that's not necessarily good for you. You may be attracted to narcissists. You may have suppressed people pleaser pattern, empath, where you feel other people's energies, which is normally a survival mechanism that was created in childhood to be safe. Now, what we do in the H category of heal is we feel it to heal it. We let the emotions come up. We understand also that the way it works is we have a belief that stems and creates that of a feeling that then has thoughts that are equal to the feeling. And then there's actions that we take or don't take based on that. And then there's results that we get that fuel the initial belief. Now we learn that in S and H section. This is where we learn more about that. What are our beliefs, our core beliefs that are creating our reality? And from beliefs stem emotion. And emotion gets trapped inside of our body and attracts to us similar people, similar circumstances, depending on that. So one thing you want to become aware of is the inner child you have inside of yourself. This is where some of the deepest transformation I've ever had in my life has come from becoming aware of the inner child inside of me that was afraid. Afraid of love, afraid of being abandoned. And we all have an inner child that does not feel seen, heard, soothed, or nurtured. When you go back and you heal that, you literally heal it in your timeline. Because right now exists, and part of this shift process is understanding that everything exists here and now. The version of you that feels lost in your timeline as a little kid exists. And it's trying to get its needs met through these different subconscious ways until you heal it or you be present with it, it will continue to act up. So one thing that we do is we also look at codependency. We look at frame of feeling safe inside of your own body. And as you feel it to heal it, you start to let go of this old shackles. Now, one of the most powerful next level steps to this, I know I'm kind of brushing over it quickly, unless you want this to be a 6-hour video, is identity. Your identity, how you view yourself, is a huge button on this remote. It's this red button right here. It's this whole screen. Think of it. There's it's called a psychocybernetic mechanism, which means that it's like a thermometer on a wall that's set to 75 degrees. If the window's open and it gets hot, it will cool it back down to 75 degrees. Or if it gets down to like 50, it'll warm it back up to 75. That's the base point. Now, if you see yourself as a 9-to-5 job goer, that's your base point. If you see yourself as someone that's not lovable, that's your base point. Your identity is that of that version of you, and therefore, you can only experience a reality that is equal to it. You will attract people into your life. You will only take action into your life, depending on that identity. When you shift your identity, everything begins to change. In 2017, I took on the identity of a full-time YouTuber. My life shifted. Now, there's a way you can do this. And it has to do with the power of meditation. It has to do with becoming aware of your old self-image that was given to you. It has to do with becoming aware of the values that drive your behavior. Now, a huge part of this shift process as well is guided meditation experiences. One thing that's always inspired me is old CIA documents that talked about this thing called the Gateway Experience, which are these really deep guided meditations that I listened to back in the day. And these meditations have inspired me to create powerful meditations for shifting at the core fundamental level, shifting your energy, shifting your subconscious mind. So there's meditations inside the Shift Academy that will help you to change and transform your identity from the inside out so that you see, feel, act, think differently. Now, I did this back in 2012 when I started to see myself as a top salesperson. I literally linked up my thoughts, my actions, everything to being a top salesperson within days, completely different result. When you become aware of this, it changes everything. It has to do with habits, identity level habits. That's something that we talk about as well in the Shift Academy. And then F is for frequency. This is in the quantum field, what you want to experience already exists. To activate the new you, there's a understanding that you want to make it natural for your identity. Not on this big pedestal. This is where we talk about something called importance. Anything that's on a pedestal is really, really far away, and you create a lot of resistance around. You want it to be natural. And one thing we will be doing here is on Zoom, we will be connecting in groups where you're going to have other people that see you in the frequency of what you want to experience. And it's an exercise that's hard to explain. We do it at my live events, but we will be doing exercises for wiring in the frequency of the ideal you and having other people that hold you in that vision of you in the highest vibrational you. So I don't want to give away too much because it's going to be an amazing experience. And then T is transformation. This is where you give yourself permission to be it. This is an identity level shift in consciousness. This is where you realize every moment you're a new you. Every moment you're a new you. Every moment you're a new you. You can continue to create the old you, but you're choosing to do that. A, B, C. Always be choosing. Always be choosing. Instead of choosing subconsciously. Choose consciously. This is about consciously shifting to your dream reality. Now, if you take these different levels of depth of transformation inside of yourself, you're literally tuning to the ideal reality that you want to experience. Now, if you want to join that of the Shift Academy, enrollment is open right now for a short period of time. After it closes, the price is going up. It'll never be this price again. And you can we'll show you how to program that remote to a completely new reality with hot seat coaching, curriculum that will guide you through the process, and that of bonuses like every 21-day challenge I've ever made, every meditation I've ever made that you can listen to whenever you want. You can go ahead and click it and join right here.